It's Mukit
from Innosis Solutions.
Hello. Innosis Solutions, Mukit. And this topic is, am I flexible? Okay, what's your position?
My position is development lead.
And it's actually very interesting. I actually spoke to him about this. Blessed are the flexibles, for they shall not break. I don't know what that means. All right, it's a very difficult statement, and I guess you're going to explain that over here. No.
But I actually get
What? A biblical statement? Okay, Mukit, go ahead.
Okay, my topic is about flexibility for a developer. And although the topic is about developer flexibility, let me start with how. Let me start with the symptoms when you know that you are not being flexible. So the first symptom. You have a rigid approach. You focus on specific implementation instead of providing generic feature. Let me give an example. A few years back, while working for a GUI framework, I had to develop a simple numeric control which validates numeric inputs and takes numeric inputs. And when I provided that, I was pretty happy, but the feedback came, it didn't support scientific formats, like something with E format, scientific format. And so you see that I had a very narrowed down approach to the development, right? I didn't provide the flexibility here. And the second point is the enhancement require major changes. What is it about? Let's say you have a view where you can pan and zoom, and you can do it well with the mouse, and then when enhancement request comes to do it with the keyboard, you find it hard to incorporate. So the problem is your design was not flexible. It was kind of rigid. And the third point, you're always constantly reviewing the necessity of a feature. For example, your graphics library, you can zoom very well, but a new feature comes to provide zoom across a single point or something, a specific point. You are asking whether this feature is really necessary, whether I really need to provide it. You're asking these sort of questions. So this is the third point. And if you have these three symptoms, it's more likely that the fourth one, you would always have that one, annoyance, at first to modification requests. What is it? Other softwares, they don't have the feature, so why should my software have it? I can give an example from my own experience. While working for a voice communication software, there was a requirement to provide a tabbed view interface for voice communication, that all the contact list and voice chat window, they should always be in the same window under separate tabs. That was long back then. Skype was not very popular back then, and the requirement meant that I had to do some owner draw tabs or something. I had to draw my own tabs because those were rounded shapes, and I squeezed my way out of it, saying that, oh, look at MSN Messenger. They have a separate voice window for chatting. So my software, why should I need it? This is the thing. That's the way to go. But later, as you can see, the Skype has become so popular, and the tabbed view interface, it's a very innovative idea. But back then, I didn't have the vision, and so somehow I squeezed my way out of it. So just because like a new innovative idea or an idea comes which is not prevalent, you don't see it in existing softwares, doesn't mean that you directly say no to it. You have to allow the provision of new ideas and work accordingly. I mean, have the flexibility in mind. So I come up with these symptoms from my own experiences, and and I also come up with some solutions. Solution one, you have to think generic, although the requirement might be specific. For example, if you have to implement something like a Google toolbar auto-completion edit, just don't think that you have to do the auto-completion for an edit. Think about your auto-completion window can be attached to any type of input like combo box or even in a grid control cell, editable cell. And think about the MFC architecture of the serialization. If you're required to, let's say, save some info to a file, they provided the layer for serialization to make it so generic. And then welcome user experiences like welcome user convenience instead of your own convenience. And do not overrate your capabilities. Like just because you come up with a great design and the new request doesn't fit into your design, and you say it's not a proper request. And then analyze existing successful architectures and the intent behind that design, like C# and stuff like that. So this is my small presentation, and I'm not very good at it because this is my first time.
So this is his first time in front of 100 people. And I don't think I gave you a proper introduction. Mukit is actually a geek, okay? And he is like, as far as I know, whenever I actually talk about Mukit to someone else, I say that he's one of the smartest people I know, alright? And smartest people, don't really talk that well, alright? So that's what has happened over here. But you go and talk to him about, technology and stuff, and he's gonna like blow your mind. And now, when he actually first told me that he's thinking about these kind of things, and I actually asked him a question. I don't think I actually received an answer, so I'm going to pose that question to you again. Is that at Therap, when my testers have it easy with programmers, okay, whatever silly or non-thought out or not really thought out bug that he goes and delivers to the developer, then he goes and fixes it, or he's very nice to the tester. I get very worried that they're not really developing those skills on how to convince tough issues, like coming up with scenarios and all of that. So, and you're doing it totally the opposite way. And so I was saying, what do you think about that? I mean, if you're very open to suggestions and everything like that, how do you come up with a balance that, because the tester skills also have to improve at the same time?
To be honest, testing, how could they improve their skills? I cannot comment really about that, because as a developer, my thinking is more on a developer's perspective, and testing is something, it's a new concept, and so I'm still scared when people do that, and so I'll remain scared for a while. And questions? Someone like?
I think very good presentation. I think it talks quite well. I mean,
Even better when you talk about it.
really. I mean, I really like this whole topic, but I'm just a little bit concerned because you see the softness of software sometimes makes it a little vague. I mean, especially the approach, the context here is interesting, but it might, sometimes get the impression like, there is a saying like concept Yagni, you are not going to need it now, right? And say here there might be danger of beat off, meaning big design upfront. You see, if you think too generic, Because from my experience, I have seen I sometimes over-engineer things which are not necessary. I really spoil my time by that. I mean, just getting from my own experience. So sometimes it could be a good idea. I mean, whatever you need, you do that. But I like that approach. You should be flexible. If something changes, the need changes, then you change the design. Because design is not like a rock kind of thing, right? You can always change it, you can make it flexible. So that's the point I wanted to make. I think you also shared the similar idea.
That is right. And being flexible doesn't actually mean that whatever request comes, you just say yes to that. Like you have to actually have a thinking going and realize that what is actually good for the software, and you have to analyze that what is being requested. But my points here mainly was that like sometimes the developers are too rigid. Just because he thinks he has come up with a superior design and a new request, he cannot fit into the design. So he thinks maybe something is wrong with the request. So that is my presentation about. Like, have a flexible mind. Even it might happen that you cannot actually come up with the best design given the resource and time, but at least have an idea in your mind that the next time, given proper resource and time, you can come up with a better design. Just don't be fully content with what you have achieved.
Thank you, Mukit. And I hope you're going to be back in Lightning Talks 4.
I want.
Yeah? Well, don't we want him back at Lightning Talks 4? Yeah. Do we want him back at Lightning Talks 4?
I'm very, very happy because we got some gig stuff. So we got actually to do something when it was very fun. So I'm very, very. I'm just sharing our the main difference between the very static language like Java and Ruby, like they have the open environment. You can open class, you can add anything. The architecture, what you are saying, we are not coming up with the big things up front. So, okay, so what I was trying to say, if we evolve with the architecture itself, like we are not thinking widely when we started. So we are evolving as our requirement grows. So we are keeping room for change. As you mentioned, our architecture should be in that way that it will be much more flexible. So you can change, you can twist, and you can do anything. So do you think actually it is also sometimes dependent on platform as well, and you can take advantage from platform? Or definitely. So
Oh, sorry. You can take advantage of the platform. I personally don't work too much with C#, but I have seen some features. A simple example can be the enumeration stuffs of C#. You can attach a tag with it and do some real cool things with it. So that is okay.
So sometimes actually you don't need. Like in Java or more static language, actually we have to make a big architecture plan up front, because for Ruby actually you can extend the language itself. So that's what I'm trying to say actually. My question was actually not question actually. I better stop. I'm just looping myself.
Right, but one thing was, my last point was study existing architecture and see about the intent behind the design. So maybe if you just study existing successful architectures, you can come up and apply those to your Ruby. I don't have much knowledge about Ruby, but you can do it, or any platform. Those concepts you can use it, and then again you can take the advantage of some existing architectures when you are working on it. Of course, you should take the advantage. That is it.
I'm sorry, you can ask your question for the next one, because we have to finish up very quickly. We just have 2 more speakers and that's it. Alright, our next speaker. Thank you, Mukit. We all loved it, right? It was good.